How screen time is quietly rewiring your child's brain. We live in a world where silence is filled with the sound of screens. Crying babies are handed phones. Toddlers are calm with cartoons. And preschoolers can swipe before they can spell. It's convenient. It's modern. But what if it's dangerous? This isn't a guilt trip. It's a wake-up call. Because right now, millions of developing minds are being shaped, not by parents, teachers, or nature, but by screens. In this episode, we uncover the hidden science behind how screen time and unsupervised social media access are quietly rewiring children's brains, especially those under age 5. If you think this sounds extreme, stick around. Because what you're about to learn might just change how you raise your child or help someone else raise theirs. Why early childhood is so critical. Let's start with this. The first 5 years of life are not just important, they're foundational. During this short window, the brain goes through its most rapid period of growth, forming over 1 million new neural connections per second. That's not an exaggeration, it's neuroscience. These years are when a child's brain learns how to regulate emotions, develop empathy, understand language, build attention and focus, connect socially, imagine creatively. It's a blueprint being written in real time. And once those pathways are built, they become very hard to undo. So, whatever stimulates the brain the most during these years becomes the dominant wiring system. And that brings us to the elephant in the nursery: screens. What screens actually do to a child's brain? Many parents think screen time is harmless, especially if the content is educational or labeled kid-friendly. But what matters just as much as content is the medium itself. Screens, especially fast-paced videos, games, and animated shows, trigger high dopamine activity. This is the brain's reward chemical, and when the brain is flooded with it repeatedly, it starts to expect stimulation at that level. That means ordinary toys seem boring, books feel too slow, real conversations lack excitement. The result? A brain that craves stimulation but struggles with focus. This is why researchers are now warning that early exposure to screens may alter the development of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control, attention, and executive function. The language development crisis. Here's something most parents don't know. Babies don't learn to speak from hearing words. They learn from live, back-and-forth conversation. When a parent says, "Where's your toy?" and the baby babbles back, that's called serve and return interaction, and it's the cornerstone of early language acquisition. Screens don't do this. Even the best educational videos are passive experiences. A study in JAMA Pediatrics found that toddlers exposed to more than 2 hours of screen time per day were 6 times more likely to experience delayed expressive language skills. In simpler terms, too much screen time equals slower language growth. No app, no cartoon, no AI can replicate the richness of human interaction. And if we replace face-to-face talk with face-to-screen input, we risk raising children who can watch but not speak, hear but not understand. Emotional dysregulation and the rise in meltdowns. You've probably seen it. A child glued to a screen until the moment you try to take it away. Then comes the screaming, the tantrums, the meltdown. This isn't bad parenting. It's neurochemical withdrawal. When kids are constantly rewarded by flashing lights, fast scenes, and instant gratification, their brains become wired to expect those highs. So when they're asked to wait patiently, sit still, share toys, handle frustration, they struggle, not because they're defiant, but because their brains haven't practiced regulating emotions. They've practiced being distracted from them. The American Academy of Pediatrics has now linked excess screen use to increased levels of anxiety, aggression, impulsivity, and mood swings, especially in preschoolers. Screens don't teach emotional regulation. They teach escape. Social media's silent influence. Even platforms labeled safe for kids like YouTube Kids and TikTok for younger audiences are not immune to manipulation. Why? Because young children are imitators. Their brains are built to copy. So when a 4-year-old repeatedly watches overly dramatic reactions, hyper-aggressive or sarcastic behavior, videos that reinforce gender stereotypes, violence, or consumerism, they don't just consume it, they practice it Some children begin mimicking behaviors seen in influencers, mocking others, obsessing over image, or acting out skits without context. This is a social media version of monkey see, monkey do, but on a digital scale. And because algorithms prioritize what keeps children watching, the system often feeds more of the same, regardless of whether it's healthy. The sleep deprivation you didn't notice. Screens are one of the biggest hidden causes of sleep disruption in toddlers and preschoolers. Here's how. The blue light emitted from screens blocks melatonin production. The mental stimulation keeps the brain alert. Late-night screen use leads to fragmented sleep cycles. Poor sleep in children under 5 has been linked to attention problems, irritability, memory loss, even reduced brain volume in key areas of development. So while that bedtime video may feel like a soothing ritual, it could actually be keeping your child's brain awake long after the screen is off. Now, let's be clear. Screens aren't the villain, but unsupervised, unregulated, and excessive screen time is absolutely a threat to early childhood development. The good news? You don't need to ban screens. You just need to be intentional. Here are a few things you can do right now. Limit passive screen time to 30 to 60 minutes a day for kids under 5. Co-watch and talk about what they're seeing. Schedule daily, tech-free family hours. Replace screens with real play, conversation, and stories. Avoid screens 1 hour before bedtime. Your child's brain is still building. You have the power to shape it with love, conversation, creativity, and connection. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like it, share it with a parent or caregiver you care about. Subscribe for more science-based truths about the developing mind. This is Facts and Curious 2.0, and you just watch things you didn't know, but should. See you in the next one.